Sit down. There's a mic right there. Grab that mic. Just put it on. Scoot over a little bit, though. Yeah.
Where's he sitting at?
No, nowhere. Sit over there, fool. Put the mic on there. Clip it onto your necklace. Yeah, perfect.
Nice. Yes.
So you're live, fool.
So
you got a lot of people
Ask me
watching.
questions. Fool. If I can answer them, I'll answer them.
We're not talking about no gang shit right now. Right now,
I'm done with that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll talk about that shit later.
Yeah.
Hey, so listen. You think we're the only ones in this galaxy?
You're asking me? I would say hell no. Okay. I believe God, who we believe in, is not from this earth. Or if he is, we're a seed of his. And yeah, pretty much.
You believe in God? You believe in God?
Who, me?
Yeah.
You gotta believe in something, no?
Yeah, you do gotta believe in something.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's what most wars are built on is belief. That's what gets you through it.
I believe in you gotta see it to believe it.
I'm a firm believer in that, but that only gets you so far, because when my old lady was cheating on me long ago, you know what I mean? One of my old ladies, I used to be like, oh, if I don't hear it with my own ears and I don't see it with my own eyes,
Yeah.
But hey, you know what, Sasuke, when a good homie's telling you, hey, she's fucking the homie, dog. She's fucking the homie, dog.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? So to see it, believe it, you know what I mean? But to experience it is another.
Yeah.
step.
So me and this fool were talking about being the only ones, the only planet that has people on it. It's too hard to believe that we're the only
I'm gonna call
one.
bullshit on that, because there has to be, with all these planets that are aligned with each other, they've already of all their special metals and precious metals and all that stuff. Like, you think about it, they're all ghosts. They're all ghost planets.
With nothing on them.
They've been of everything on them, just like we're doing this planet.
So they could be like planets that already had people on them, and now it's done. They were depleted.
Think about what we're doing now. Think about the guy that makes Teslas. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Tesla.
He's got the space net, whatever the going on. He's trying to get Mars. Think about it. We're already trying to escape this place. Now, the first thing that we ever explored, you can Google this, whoever's listening. First thing that we started exploring was the sea. Okay?
Oh yeah.
We started exploring the sea. We're pouring a gang of money into it. Boom, boom, boom. Something spooked us because we just gave it up.
Yeah.
And we started looking to the sky.
Yeah.
So something's and think about it. They have all this UFO shit coming out nowadays that shows a lot of stuff over water.
Yeah.
Think about it, Holmes. Our threat might be just within us.
Could be.
Or it could just be us, because we are our worst enemy right there.
But you are right. It sounds right about right. That maybe all these planets were depleted of their precious golds and metals and shit, and eventually, I mean, how much more oil can you find?
The oil.
How much more metal?
Fuck the oil, because we are smart men. Just the human race period. We evolve. We adapt, especially Sureños. We adapt no matter what. Okay, but you think about it. How long is our star going to last? Once our star goes out, we will die, because there's going to be no sun to, because our bodies. I mean, I have skin cancer, all right? So you can either get too much rays or too little rays, and you're going to die either way.
Yeah.
So once that fucking sun does, and think about it, the further the planet is, the more colder it is. The more, so think about it. At one time, that star
was far away.
No, it supplied enough light, sunlight, AB. What is that? All the minerals. What do you call it? The vitamins. Vitamin A, B, C.
Yeah.
You get that through the sun too. And now all these planets that are aligned, all the way to Pluto, they had enough sun and rays and everything. But now we're getting solar flares. Solar flares, it could wipe us all out. It knocks out fucking antennas all the time. That's what the Army's always trying to fucking, beef it up. Okay, because when it has a solar flare, it knocks everything out. And that right there alone,
they call that like a, I forgot the name, but it has a name where they can wipe out all the electronics.
Yes, and that right there, with look, you think about it. If our enemy guys wanted to really attack America, all right, because right now we're at the top of the totem pole, and we've been there for a while. But every great kingdom, empire, whatever, will come to its fall. Romans,
EMP.
Everybody has. Everybody. They have their peaks and they have their lows. And right now we're at our peak, and we've been at our peak for a while. So how much longer until China, Russia, all that come together? And the only thing they're doing, they're not like doing it right in front of our face where they click up together to take us out, but they're doing it like cybernet, fucking cyber shit, like you know what I mean, to attack us. You think about, you know how much property they own of ours that is all farmland, everything that we grow cows on, we grow all of our feed on, everything like that, that's owned by China.
Yeah.
Owned by China. They came over here and bought us all out, and we sold it to them because.
We want the money.
That's all we are about is the money. But you know how much in debt we are to everybody that we've already demolished their country. We dropped fucking bombs in Hiroshima. All that. We know we still pay them. I mean, I'm part Indian, so
I see that.
So even the Indian race, the ones that were here before anybody.
Okay,
right?
so here's a good question. We'll continue that and I'll finish it off. Go ahead.
I mean, you just think about it. America's always paying out.
Okay, so here's a question. One of the homies called me on the phone the other day, right? And he goes, hey fool, think about this. He goes, Indians get paid like a check, right?
Not all Indians get paid.
How does it work?
Every reservation will get some kind of kickback from the government. Okay, but not every Indian reservation gets money in certain ways. Like where my dad is at now. My real dad, he's back east, Missouri, Louisiana. That's where my family's from, and we're Sioux and Blackfoot. So we have reservations back there. Now, I have a little bit more Indian than my dad does, so he couldn't get a check. I can't get a check either, but I can go live on the land, and I can put my kids through college. I get a plot of land and everything. But now if I die and my old lady doesn't have no offspring of mine, they got to get up and go. Oh. Now, the reservations around here, they have casinos, they get kickbacks from that, and that's all by pecking order too. It's all by pecking order. Like if they're active in the reservation, like if they go to the meetings and all this and that, and it trickles down like that. Every reservation gets different. Like on my reservation back east.
Your dad lives on the reservation?
No, not now. No.
Why not?
He just back there. Because you know my dad, he's an atheist. He's like, dead is dead, dead is gone. What you got for me, I want now. That's you know what I mean? Shit like that.
That's me.
But he's not really too in tune doing it. If he couldn't get the check like my grandma used to get. Yeah, that's how she used to have all these little traders in that fucking mobile home park. Yeah. But besides that, like everything's different. Like my reservation, we get mineral rights. So whatever they're fucking mining back there, whatever they're fucking fracking or whatever they're doing, that's what they're getting kickbacks from that, plus what the government gives them. But you have to register. You have to, if you're Indian, if you think you're Indian, they have clinics that are in different counties or whatever. You can Google that. Google's a motherfucker. You can Google almost anything nowadays. But you can go in there and you get tested. They test your blood. It's just like the ancestral fucking.
Yeah, the ancestors.
You know what I mean? So you go there and they'll test you and they'll tell you what your ancestors are. And then it's about you if you're gonna do the footwork and find out where your roots really lie.
Why do they get money then?
Why do they get money?
Yeah, why?
Because of what the fucking pilgrims did. They fucking came over here and raped us for everything.
Okay,
what are you talking about?
check this out. So this is what the homie was arguing. He said, USA bought the land from Mexico.
No, USA didn't buy shit from fucking Mexico. They tricked Mexico.
Yeah, but they still bought it legally, regardless. It's on that paper, right?
And that's where America lies. Everything. You know, fucking America says that we're not communists. But that's a bullshit lie because you can go to fucking Mexico and buy a piece of land as long as you're a Mexican citizen, and that's your fucking piece of land. And ain't nobody can go on there besides the army. The army can go on your shit.
My dad does a lot of land.
You know that. We've both been over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have never even got to experience Mexico like I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
Okay, but hold on. This fool said, okay, the America says that they bought the land, Texas, California, Arizona, from Mexico legally, right? That's what they say, right?
Legally, in the end, yeah. But see, look, think about it. The Alamo was the last fucking the last fucking battle or war, or whatever. And then after that battle is when they forced Texas to sell Texas because at one point Texas wanted to be its own country.
Yeah.
Okay, they wanted to be their own country, dog.
Yeah, I remember.
And they're big enough. I did 3 years out in prison out there. So it's big as fuck. All right, it's so big that fucking they got dikes that are fucking bigger than men. All right,
Damn.
So fucking, you know what I mean, everything's big in Texas, as they say. But
so what this fool was saying was that if they say they legally bought Mexico from the USA bought the land from Mexico. Why do the Indians get a check if this land was legally bought from Mexico?
Because originally it was all Indians. But listen. Before all the cartoon that's on my back, before the Mexican Revolution and all that, it was all Indians. The Mexicans came, and when they started branching off of like the Aztecas and I mean, you know, the Incas and all that, when they started becoming Mexicans, okay, then they came over here and started conquering Indians, or they had little trades going on with them, okay? Before they started bringing in guns and fucking fire water and all that, they were trading back and forth.
Yeah.
So then they said, hey, these guys are real fucking aborigines. Let's go ahead and fucking just take it from them, because it was so easy, because they're still fist over hand eating. You know what I mean? They would. A lot of Indian tribes would go with the migration of their food. You know what I mean? And that's why they're so vast over everything. You know what I mean?
How come there's no Indians in Mexico?
There was Indians in Mexico. What are you talking about? They immigrated from North America to South America.
So this for them bullshitting me into
No, but I
believing
mean,
this.
I just know my shit because fucking, you know, doing time or whatever. I watch a lot of PBS, fucking History Channel, shit like that, and I feel real fine tuning on it, because a lot of things are there'll be coincidences, but there can never be over coincidences. You know what I mean? It makes way too much sense. Just like the Aztecs, how they say that they even have proof now, and you can Google this shit too. All right, that they migrated from North America down to South America, and then that's when they started basically absorbing fucking other tribes down in South America, where they would either conquer them and kill all their chiefs and their fucking warriors and everything, and then crossbreed and inbreed with all their women. And if not, they would sacrifice them.
See, I don't know about all this shit because I never paid attention to none of this shit. But the homie was telling me that just made it sound so official. Like, the way he sold it to me was like, hey, bro, look, if the America bought the land from Mexico, legally bought it, now they own it, they pulled Mexico out, they made it California, all those spots used to be Mexico, they made it the USA. Why is it that the Indians are getting the check and not Mexico getting the check? Or not
because
the
Mexico,
Mexicans?
because you think about it like this, in a big aspect of life, and an outlook of anything, the point mean is that Mexico still has Mexico.
Yeah.
Indians don't have nothing.
Yeah.
They give us a plot of land, and they put us on that plot of land.
Okay, that makes sense.
They put us in the worst fucking environment ever. They took us from something that was real fruitful to fucking some desiccated, fucking dry-ass desert, Holmes.
Yeah, true that.
Okay, if not that, they put us way up fucking high into the fucking winter, where fucking we would have migrated from, just like a bird would.
Yeah.
To feed and to eat and to survive.
Sounds right about right.
I mean, it's only common sense. I mean, we're all fucking, everybody's, if you're not intelligent to know that, then fucking,
You know, now I want to now it feels like I want to read and figure this shit out.
Yeah, but every tribe was different though, because other tribes, they used to feed off of other tribes. You know what I mean? They would fucking basically raid other tribes. You know what I mean?
Take all their shit.
Yeah. And then that's why you got that's why you got a lot of Indians now, and this just started back way in the 1800s when they started taking us. You know what I mean? Like when Geronimo and all that is that they were putting tribes together in concentration camps. And we're the fucking first ones that were in concentration camps. Not the Chinos, not the Jews, nothing like that, dog. We were, you know what I mean? And if you want to go deeper than that, Africa was there, you know what I mean? But Africans used to sell Africans to us, you know, to the pilgrims back in the day and bring them over here.
Damn.
They don't realize that. You can Google that shit too. When Morenos used to sell Morenos to each other, fucking, you know what I mean? Ethiopia used to sell Ethiopians to us, and then they would fucking bust them over here.
That sounds about right.
But slavery's been around. Slavery's been around forever, dog. So
everybody is trying to like outdo everybody. So I believe there's like Africans that feel better than other Africans. So they,
well, you know, I mean, as far as I know, like you know, I chop it up. I got a few brothers that are on the team that I talk to them like on a daily basis that we got a good rapport with each other, and even they knowledge and they actually respect the knowledge of that Africans. They don't like brothers that are from America. You know what I mean? They don't consider them as
Mexicans
Africans,
the same way though. I mean,
but
not all of them, but
no, exactly. But I really don't. I'm just telling you on hearsay that I hear. You know what I mean? Because I'm not African or not.
No, yeah, but I've heard that too.
I'm not American African either, so I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
I've heard that too.
You know what I mean? But that comes out because I remember when I went to fucking Mexico and stuff, they used to call me a porcho, and I didn't even know what a porcho was at first. I was like, what the fuck you calling me? I ended up choking somebody out over it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like, but when it broke down to me, it's basically like when you feel like your lawn keeper is fucking getting better than you, and you're like, oh, that fucking paisa, that fucking wetback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's basically how they're calling me. You know what I mean? Over there, you know.
Yeah.
But if
no,
you
I
speak
feel
Korean,
but I've debunked that, and I'll tell you how I debunked that because a lot of people that live in the U.S. like Chicanos, they be like, oh, they don't like us in Mexico. They call us pochos. All right, but let me tell you how I debunked that. I debunked that because them people that feel that way ain't never broke bread or ate with Mexicans from the land.
No.
Like if you're from here and you're a Chicano and you go to the land and you're able to break bread and eat with them people, bro, they'll accept you like one of their own.
Yeah.
But if you just go and you shit on them because I'm from California, they're gonna call you all kinds of shit, homie.
Oh shit, they're liable to chop you up and leave you parts all over.
You know?
It's just like how your family is with me and the other homies' family, like how I learned Spanish and everything like that. Is that you go into a house and they ask you off the bat, and they do in Mexico too. And it's like that's why I know that where that piece of knowledge came from and it was handed down. It was when you walk in the house, no matter they could tell you're fucking on one or not, but they're still gonna ask you if you're hungry, if you're tired, you want to sleep, anything like that. That hospitality is there, and that's really where because they're really united over there. They really are, and shout out to all the fighters out there that are on their shit. Like they got sergeant of arms and all that shit. They're really with their shit. They got a little twist to their fucking, you know what I mean, on age groups, on disrespect and everything like that. What they do, but like I agree with you because the whole concept of
Fool, I went over there when I went over there for the first time. I was Americanized all the way full throttle, but I started learning the way of the way they did things. You know what I mean? Like how they did things. I started breaking bread with them, and I started eating with them. And before you knew it, full shit, I was just like one of them. Now we're just all making money.
I'm gonna have to call bullshit on this because
there,
this is my homeboy. This is my homeboy from childhood. Like this is technically just because he's bigger than me. This is my younger homie. This is my second generation right here, and he's with the shit. All right, so him saying that he was introduced. From my knowledge, as a kid, his family and them, they were with the shit. They were bringing all of our people from over there over here.
Hey, hold on. We don't. Yeah, let's. We don't throw it, fool. Yeah. You want the water?
No, I got.
Okay, cool. I don't try to prove nothing to these fucking people.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm giving them a piece of my knowledge. Okay, I'm giving them a piece of. I'm sharing my life with them.
We'll do that on the interview.
Yeah, we'll
do that in the interview. Salute to the squad that's in the building. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's how I feel about the people that always feel like that Mexicans in Mexico, disrespect the Americanized Mexicans. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like I'm not Mexican, okay? I'm Argentinian. I'm Scottish. I'm
Argentinian?
Yes. See, and if I'd have been smart, if I went on the run, if I went to Argentina, they don't have no extradition. They don't fucking send you back if you're looking.
Really?
At what I was looking at, they wouldn't send you back.
Oh, shit.
But see, you know what I mean? And that's on my mom's side. My mom's full-blooded Argentinian. They speak Spanish, all that shit. They fucking look whiter than I do, and but they're like real snobs. You know what I mean? And I mean, I got the cartoon on my back. I understand. In my heart, I'm Mexican. You know what I mean? I'm fucking full. I mean, there ain't nobody raised gallos like I do.
Hey, I didn't know you were Argentinian.
Hell yeah! Why you think I look so white? Shit, it's not because my fucking.
Yeah, we'll do that later. I recently did a whole podcast with Silent. Did he call you? He was here.
No, everybody's like,
I just did a whole live story with him. I'm gonna drop it on Wednesday.
On Wednesday?
Yeah, but another thing I was talking with Trap Boy about was ghosts. You believe in ghosts?
Oh hell yeah!
You ever had an experience?
Yes, many a times. And you know, it depends on what you've been through in life, I think, and who you had around you, and who you lost, and who you've gained. You know what I mean? I believe I have. Well, you know what I've been through. I know damn well I got guardian angels. I mean, I've been shot several times, stabbed several times. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've been through a lot in life, and everybody's always told me that God has a purpose for me, this and that. But hell, I'm about to be 45, and you know what I mean? I'm up in my 40s and shit. And then
I think when you see a ghost,
my purpose was there. Like why hasn't he told me yet? You know what I mean?
Damn, maybe your purpose is after you're dead and gone.
Well, hey, maybe my purpose was here, and I've already been, you know what I mean?
You already fulfilled it.
Tending to it, yeah. I've already been tending to it, not knowing I'm tending to it, you know? So, whatever it is, que sera, sera.
I think you see like evil spirits when you're fucking up.
I see evil spirits like when I'm like hella high, you know what I mean? Like when I'm in an evil spot.
Well, that don't count for.
No, yes, well, people like I self-medicate all the time, so it's like I'm in my own world. But it keeps me to where I'm level-headed. So if somebody sees me when I'm not, they'll be like, "Hey, what's wrong with that fool? He's sick or whatever." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sick. I'm going through my own things, and I'm occurring on and off going through my things. But nobody could tell unless I told you.
Unless, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's been times when I've been like really in a dark spot when I'm hiding behind a fucking bush that has fucking like, I don't know, 13 leaves on it, but I'm hiding behind it with a cigarette burning out my lip, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking with a strap in my lap, you know what I mean? Where I see shit, shadow people or whatever the fuck they want to call it, where I see a demon, you know what I mean? And instead of me acting scared, like, what the fuck was I see? Like, you know what I mean? And getting all fucking panicked out and all tweaked out, like fucking, you know, and losing my mind, you know what I mean? Fucking, I just face it straight on. It comes and goes. But I have seen shit like in, like
have you played the
videos.
Ouija board?
I have when I was a kid, but I don't believe in all that shit. I'm real superstitious, you know that. You know
Give
that.
me one devilish story of some kind of like something you saw that really like fuck with you, bro.
Honestly, I
It
really
could be
can't tell you
young,
no
it could be
stories
when
like
you were
that
young, when you were
I'm not
older.
trying to incriminate myself or
No,
anybody
I'm not talking
around me.
about like shit
No,
like
but
that.
you
I'm talking about like
wanna
when
give
you
me
saw
an
like a
insight.
ghost or you saw like you
Everything
felt
that
like-
everything that leads up to that would be incriminating myself because there's stuff that you know what I mean. If you're on an evil path, you're gonna be seeing evil things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's how I feel.
And if I tell you how I ended up on the evil path, I'll be incriminating myself.
Okay, there has to be one that you already went to prison for that you could tell me.
All right, let's say
You
all
already
right.
done your time.
All right, yeah, all right. Yeah, we could do this. We could do this one. Whew.
Big trip.
Over there.
Give me the other one that's right there.
I would say let's take it back to 2008
Okay.
when all that fellow was happening. I remember fucking seeing fucking evil spirits and sending the little homies down the street. Monster, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Fucking another unmentionable. But Monster and him, I remember making them fucking cry because I was standing around the street because I'm seeing demons and shit, and it's really fucking mailboxes and trash cans. But in my head, it's demons, it's the enemy guy down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that all became because I think what you do unto other people can be done unto you.
Oh, for sure.
For sure, for sure. And you know, I think my see, I have that little sleep anxiety.
Paralysis?
I'm
The
supposed
paralysis?
I'm supposed to be taking pills for it and shit like that.
You
but
get that?
I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean?
That's the
Yes.
one where you feel like somebody's pressing you down, right?
Yeah. You feel like you can't breathe. You
Yeah,
can't
I
sleep.
get
you
that all
don't
the
want to sleep
time.
because if you do fall asleep, it's only for short hours. You know what I mean?
But it feels like you're gonna die if you.
You just feel panic out, like 'cause like everything that you do on somebody else is being done to you in your dreams.
Like the sleep paralysis shit. All right, I get that when I'm heavy, like self-medicated, like you say, right? You've had a whole day of self-medication, right?
Because I mean, life is what you make it. Easy, you can make it as hard as possible. You can make it easy as possible. And we put our bodies through a lot.
Yeah.
Because our bodies are machines. You know what I mean? What we intake is what's fueling your machine. And if you're intaking whatever, just nothing but poison.
It's either that or people having a long, tiring ass day, right?
Yeah,
So
but what gives them that long, tiring ass day?
hard work could be hard work.
It could be hard work, but I mean, nowadays just to get through a day is hard work.
For me, sleep paralysis has either been like a long ass day or like self-medication all day. So at the nighttime, you're already like retarded out of your mind. So when I lie down sometimes, fool, and I'm going to sleep, my doctor told me it's because you're in between sleep and awake, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so your body doesn't know which one's which. But when I get it, fool, like I think that I'm moving in my sleep. Like I'm sleeping, but I think I'm awake.
Let me ask you this: Are you dreaming in color or in black and white? Because you're most in tuned when it's in color.
Yeah.
Because it's more
Realistic.
Yes.
No, yeah, everything for me is normal, color.
When it's
everything
black
normal.
and white, it's already something that's already lived.
It's already-
it's already something that you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's faded for you.
Well, for me, when I'm on that, when I'm falling, it feels like I'm falling into sleep, but I'm awake. I don't want to fall asleep because it feels like I won't wake up no more. It feels like it's game over. You're gonna lose, homie. You gotta fight to get the fuck out of this.
Like if you're falling into a deep hole and you're
Yeah,
just
and
falling
you're done.
and falling and
You're
falling.
done. So what I
what about
do-
those dreams where you
It's not a
you're having a
dream,
bad
though.
dream, but what about when you necessarily because you're not always conscious of your dreams. You
Yeah.
could be in a dream and not knowing you're being in a dream, but you know how you wake up and you panic out. But then you go back to sleep and you go right back into the same shit.
Yeah.
And you just wake up, but you might not have no knowledge of you were just dreaming, but you still panic out. You really fucking, you know how you wake up, panic out, like you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
you
I'll
want to check
panic.
your pockets or whatever, not you know.
Yeah.
Or you're looking around your surroundings. I woke up in different spots. See, usually I can't fall asleep unless I'm comfortable somewhere. And if I fall asleep like that, it's because I've already been up too long. I can't, you know what I mean. 2 nights ago, fucking. Like I said, I'm sick, so fucking. I had an episode where I was like having small seizures back and back, and my wife's like, "Pull over, let me get the drive, let me get the drive," and I'm like, nah, being stubborn. But finally, I give in, and she takes it, and as soon as she takes the wheel, man, I was out. I was out. I don't even remember how I got out of bed. I got out of the car into bed, but I'm having wicked dreams the whole time. And I'm only sleeping for like 4 hours, 3 hours. I'm awake before she is, and she's wondering where I'm at. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
I woke up this time since I've been out. I've been paroled this time. I woke up in the middle of fucking right there on 9th Street, fucking in the middle of the street, like just like posted. I wake up to that, like what the fuck? I'm cold as fuck.
What the
Yes,
fuck?
yes. So I mean, everything. It just really. I believe this is just a vessel because fucking I already seen everything in this life, everything but Christ. So I'm ready for the next.
Those paralysis. When they're happening to me, I sometimes feel like I'll be sleeping and like my nephew is like right next door to me or my old lady or whatever, and then when I pop out of it, I'll be like, motherfucker, I was fucking pushing you. And they're like, bro, you weren't even moving, but in my mind, I'm fucking kicking them and I'm hitting them with my hand.
What about the times that's what put you to sleep, knowing that your nephew was there? You know what I mean? It gives you that relaxation that you're in a comfortable environment. Okay.
Well, there's times
but
where
then when you wake up, they're not there. So you're like, where did everybody fucking go? What the fuck? And you kind of come out. You come off hostile. Like you're like, hey, where the fuck were you, man?
Yeah, I don't like those. I don't like that,
you know what I
dog.
mean?
That
Like, you
pisses
come
me
out,
off, homie.
I know since I stopped.
Because it's
using heroin.
like that pisses me off because it's like you waited for me to go to sleep to bounce out. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Because
pisses
now
me
you,
off,
now
dog.
you leave me vulnerable, right?
That pisses me
that's
off.
what pisses me off. Exactly.
That pisses me off, dog. But there's times where my old lady will be like, I was just watching you because, like, when the paralysis hits, they say that I can't breathe or something. I don't know what it is, but she'll watch me and then
It's anxiety. It's
she'll
anxiety.
wake me up.
Matter of fact, I'm supposed to be on anxiety pad. But then again, I've never felt sick. No, never felt sick until I've been told I was sick, and I've actually been sick. You know what I mean? They had, you know, I can see it on whatever. You know what I mean? The doctors, you know what I mean? Right now, I've been avoiding fucking shit right now, but I feel better. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Just to be free and shit. I'm almost off parole this time, so I'm doing good.
Okay, so go back to the ghost story. For I know you can
Ghost
tell me a good
stories,
ghost
ghost
story.
stories.
This is midnight podcasting.
Fuck. I don't know. Fucking
Midnight podcasting. I know you can tell me.
I don't know. I
story
mean,
of-
fucking, you should give me one of those fucking pro cams and they can just take a rock from me. I mean, as far as me telling fucking, you know what I mean? I don't want to sit here and seem like I'm crazy or nothing like that.
No,
because
I said a
pretty much
crazy
kept all my
one.
marbles together. You know what I mean? Fucking
Yeah.
all my crowns are in the box and all that shit. All my tools are in the shed. But yeah, I've seen some shit. I've seen some shit that gave me the creeps.
Okay, how about in prison? Did you see any ghosts in prison? You've been to
Yeah.
a lot of prisons, big
Yes,
dog.
I have.
Try
I
to-
was paroled from Solano. That's one of the oldest prisons too. Everything's GP right there. I started out on 3. I ended up on a 2. I paroled from the 2. Prior to that, I've been at some spooky prisons. I went from YA to fucking Chino, and that's an old prison. Yeah, I mean, I've been in some places, you know what I mean? Because, like I say, I self-medicate, so I'm up pretty much of the time, you know what I mean? Just, you know, contemplating the next day. So I've had some creepy shit happen that it wasn't cockroaches or mice getting in your fucking cosas. You know what I mean?
Tell me one. Tell me one, dog. You're
I
waking
mean, but
up and you saw a
at
shadow.
the same time, look, when you're self-medicating too, you also fucking exaggerate. Yeah, you're not. I mean, I'm admitting this. And other people be like, no, I wasn't. But you tend to fucking add to. Like you're exaggerating it. You know what I mean? Just like the Bible, it's added to and took from. So I really couldn't tell. It's all about what your belief is. If you believe hard enough in something, it's going to become true. If you've never stared at something long enough where you can actually see that chair moving a little bit. You never did that?
No, I've looked in the mirror.
You know what
I've
I'm
looked
saying?
in the mirror, faded as fuck, where my face turned like something else. You ever done that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even use a mirror when I shave my head, my face.
One
nothing
time I
that,
was
because
looking
I
at-
just don't want to catch eye contact with myself because
Yeah, that's
I
scary,
know
fool.
I know the demons that are inside me.
Yeah,
and
that's
I've
what
done,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
So I avoid all that.
One time I was looking in the mirror. I was doing something. I don't know, popping my pimples, doing something. I remember I was young. Looking in the mirror, fool, and I kept looking at myself. And I turned into something else, my boy.
But
and I'm like, what
that's
the
that self-medicating.
fuck?
That's self-medicating, and what we suffer from.
I've never
what
done
we
that shit
suffer
again,
What we
fool.
suffer from, that sleep insomnia and all that shit. Those are big factors. Those are big factors that because look at our brain is huge, and we use. They say we use a quarter of it. I believe it's less than that. All right, and then everybody has to realize that your right side controls your left side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything is crisscross. There's more about our fucking body that we don't know about than they let on. Because our bodies are gangster. How many people out there have fucking been shot, stabbed, ran over, fucking anything like
All
that?
3.
But healed like that. Healed like that.
True.
You know what I mean? I mean,
I've been shot, stabbed, and ran over by the cops.
Everything we have. We've been through, and you and I could vouch for that for each other. But you know, everybody's been through their own shit. They could have their own things going on out there. But think about how fucking gangster your body is. Especially women. Women go through a lot. You know what I mean? And they bounce
get a
back.
pounding.
Hey, but they get a
Pause.
You know what I mean? And chinga. So, but they bounce back. You know, and it's always like where your mindset is too. If you're willing to fucking bounce back from whatever your sickness is. Whatever, if you just had a child, you just fucking got stabbed, you just lost a leg, whatever, you got diabetes, you got cancer, whatever. It's about how you're willing to fight for it and everything. You know, I mean, you know, they want to take my leg from me, fucking my knee below. They told me if I didn't do it, that I wouldn't be walking, and if I did, I'd walk with, you see me, I get around just fine, Holmes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I did that just by fucking self-medicating, dog. Like focused on what I was focused on. I mean, I could have been fucking, and there's a lot of people out there that give into it. They start fucking feeling down and depressed, I'm not gonna walk again.
And they live their life like that, dog.
But those are pussies, fool. Those people, they have no heart, homie, because they give up. They give up on themselves because they don't have a support team. If they had a support team, that would have walked them through it. But even then, people that have support teams, they give up too, fool. You know what I mean? And that's just the coward in them. Fool.
I know somebody that hit 44 and they were like, "Oh, I'm done. It's over for me." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, don't you believe, like, if you believe, like, "Oh, I'm sick, I'm dying, I'm dying," because the doctor told you you're dying, instead of getting a fucking second opinion or whatever not, then you're gonna be sick and dying.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. They have people out there in this world that go to hospitals all the time. There's nothing wrong with them. But they go in there, "Oh, I got a cold. I'm sick. I'm dying."
I'll put it to you like this. My nephews have never been sick from the minute they were born to now. They've never been to a fucking hospital, homie. The smallest one, that fool had to get shots to go to school, right? Boom, as soon as he gets his shot, that little motherfucker gets sick for like a whole 6 months, homie. And I was like, what the fuck? That fool had never been sick in his life. He got sick when he got them shots. That fool ain't never been sick. To this day, fool, ain't never been to a hospital, ain't never fucking got sick, never been to a dentist. Everything's 100% with that fool in his mouth, his body, straight, right? I know little kids, fool, that go to the dentist every week. I mean, the doctors every week, talking about my leg hurts, my hand hurts, and ain't nothing wrong with these motherfuckers. But the moms and the dads, hospital.
No,
I'd be like, what the fuck?
What do you call it? What do you call it? Like a hover mother or a hover father.
Yeah.
Right away, all they scared.
Fuck that.
If your kid fucking falls off their bike or skateboard, hey, come on, baby, you comfort them in a different way. Like for instance, here recently, my goddaughter, me and my wife, we surprised my goddaughter with her father with this big old Jeep, a little pink Jeep and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
And fucking, we're out there riding around and shit, and, you know, and then the following day we're out there fucking, she has a little potbelly pig, right? That her dad got her, and you know, and he's raising it up. It's like a little dog. It's like a little Pedro. He sleeps in the house, everything. She loves it. So we're running around, right? And she goes to fall because the pig trips her. And usually if she falls in like that, she'll start, like, you know, and she'll tell you, I got to cut, you know what I mean? She'll start, you know, whining. But this time I caught her just in time, and I was like, oh, man, she almost fell, you know, and I tell her, hey, you almost fell, huh, just and that. And she catches me like, oh, yeah, like picking her up. She didn't cry or nothing. She didn't ask for a Band-Aid. You know what I'm saying?
But if you would have made like,
oh, you okay? If I like,
she would start crying.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the problem, fool. See, people are saying never been to a dentist. Look, fool, I look at it this way. They didn't go back to dentists in the Stone Ages.
No,
you know?
Hell no. I you know, a lot of people fucking, little do they know, a lot of people died back then because they didn't have the medical know-how that we have nowadays. I mean, I'm blessed. I don't got a zipper up my stomach right now because of medical fucking know-how. You know what I mean? Like all these fucking breakthroughs. You know, fucking.
But I think that a lot of stuff, fool, is not a scam, but a way to just pinch money out of you. You know what I mean?
All these cancers, diabetes, and all that, I think it's self-prone. I think it's something that we brought on to ourselves by all these chemicals that we put into our animals to feed us, our vegetables and our grain and all that to feed us. You think about it, they hormones, fucking antibiotics, fucking steroids, all that stuff they put in to give to us. Have anybody out there fucking really read the warning labels on any kind of consumption? Anything you eat out there, and it'll say over long consumption of, may cause this and this and this and this. And 9 times out of 10, it'll say cancer, diabetes, all this stuff.
I go into the homies' apartments and there's a sign that says when you enter, the paint in these buildings might produce cancer.
Yeah, especially
I'm like,
if they're
what
old in age,
the
yes.
fuck?
Well, anybody out there that's done time, you know what I mean? You guys see the fucking shower fucking warning signs or the drinking warning signs that says over long consumptions of, it may cause cancer, it may cause this, you know what I mean? Defects, all that kind of stuff. And they do that nowadays because they don't get sued, because once upon a time they must have got sued.
Yeah.
All right? And you think about all this
Yeah.
other shit that fucking that we put onto our bodies. Teflon. You know the Teflon you guys fucking, you know.
This shit.
I'm not talking about the Teflon in your fucking vest or Teflon in your fucking gun or, you know, your Glock or anything like that. I'm talking about the Teflon you cook with, okay?
Oh, the pots?
Yeah, the pots and pans and shit. Google that shit. Look up. They have different movies and everything. They're documentaries on how they poisoned fucking multiple fucking cities and fucking counties
Oh, I
when
seen
they first
that.
did that.
Yeah, people were dying.
Like Eric Brockovich kind of shit. And it's like fucking. And so nowadays they still do it. They just do it.
Drop the scale.
But now they got regulations on
Regulations,
it. Right?
yeah.
So if you
It's still deadly.
Yeah, it's still deadly. It says it on the fucking warning label, but it's due to a certain level.
Yeah.
So they give you fucking.
They regulated it now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's still given to you. So you think about everything.
Test dummies, all those
everything
test
out there,
dummies.
the fucking phones we hold to our heads, to the glasses we drink out of. You know gold stones, right? You know when you're passing stones and stuff. You know where that comes from, right?
No.
Hard water deposits and plastic deposits from fucking when you cook a soup in the microwave and you're fucking boiling it up in
I
the
like
fucking
those
microwave.
sopitas.
All that kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Why should put
when
hot
you're
water
drinking,
on mine?
well, it causes fucking the gallstones, and where it fucking accumulates like hard water. You know, you ever walked to a fucking pisser and you go to piss in it and you see all that fucking hard water deposit? Imagine that being inside your gut. And it accumulates and fucking to pass one of those, even the fucking minute fucking little a pinball from a pin, it fucking hurt. It's painful. I've never went through it, you know what I mean? But I've seen a lot of motherfuckers go through it around me, you know what I mean? And it's painful. I see them crying, grown men, like straight killers, fucking like, oh, and they're sitting there. I'm like, fool, hurry up and piss, and they're like, I can't, fool, you know? So
Yeah.
and then to where it hurts so bad where they're pissing little streams of blood, you know? So.
That shit sounds deadly.
To
homie.
each his own. Fucking, hey, anything could be deadly.
No,
Just like what you
this
said. If you got the, like, you know, like I raise roosters and chickens and fucking pigeons and shit. And you take a fucking fake snake out there to my pigeons or to my, and you throw it in there, you spook them enough, they'll die. Or if one of my dogs maul one of my chickens.
I seen that shit.
If they maul one of my roosters or chickens, and if they got no fucking balls or no heart, they'll die because they got mauled. And the only thing he did was yank out a bunch of feathers. You know what I mean?
So they'll get scared of a snake. The roosters?
the pigeons will. The pigeons could fucking drop dead. You know what I mean? If they get scared enough.
I seen a video like that on the internet where some guy grabbed what was it, like a mouse or something, and he put it in front of the window of where the snakes are at inside. That motherfucker died, homie.
I never did no
By
fucking rat. Like my birds at the house, you throw a fucking lizard, a rat, or even a little small snake, they'll eat that motherfucker dead. But you get a big snake in the shit, like when we lived at Uncle Pete's, a snake fucking was over there and fucking spooked and killed a bunch of my little fucking hens. Just spooked them. There was no fucking bite marks. They didn't try to feed on them or nothing, but just by striking at them and shit, they dropped dead. I had lost I think 7 or 6 fucking pigeons, those rollers I used to have, and then fucking like 2 hens over that, and it was just a big old fucking garden snake, for a gopher snake.
Yeah, it's just a non-deadly.
But
But that's how it is,
Mother
though.
Nature's a bitch, fool. And she's really fucking right. And you know, if we let Mother Nature take care of herself, and if
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yes, I just said it a minute ago when I said I'm done with this life. I'm ready for the next. Because I mean, like. I'm real keen on being like all right, my dad he's Scottish and Indian, and if you know anything about Scottish, you ever seen fucking Braveheart or anything like that? That's Scottish.
Yeah.
All right, they used to have clans and shit like that. Now you look at my dad's
Like
fucking
Tarzan.
roots. Yeah, no, but if you look at my dad's roots, right? They came from Scotland and all this and that when they fucking came over here, okay? And they came over here Mick Campbell instead of Mick. You know, I got Campbell now, but besides my mom's last name, but they dropped it because they had a fucking seal of signs. It's a fucking a seal like on a fucking shield. You know what I'm talking about? Where you see a lion and then a fucking like shield, half lion, half eagle, and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And they're called clans. And these clans used to be governed by England. England is when it went over there to Scotland and fucking Ireland, Ireland, right? And they governed all them, just like America does now to Puerto Rico, to Peru, to beliefs, all these, they govern them. So what I'm saying is that they have the same rules and regulations as we do here, but they're still their own country. But they're governed by us, and they're ruled by us, if you think about it. Because, I mean, that's how all the colonials started here in America, period. Is when England wanted to fucking, all right, they had all these posts where they're governed by us. You know what I mean? Well, England was the first one to do that. Okay, when they became the top of the food chain. After Rome, then England started conquering shit. Because Rome had it forever. Especially when Caesar fucking married fucking that bitch fucking
Cleopatra?
Yes. That was the big, they were trying to conquer fucking the Egyptians forever because they had their empire fucking rules forever, it seemed like. But prior to that, if you think about it, in Peru, you see those big ass fucking drawings that are on the fucking mountains and in the desert, up there fucking like where the Incas are at.
Oh yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. I see that.
All right, now those were the first tribes. They were before the fucking Aztecs. The Aztecs were still there, but they're saying at this time that they were in North America. I mean, I watch all this shit, dude. I've been reading. You know, once I learned how to read and write in prison.
Reincarnation, fool.
No, reincarnation. I believe that's in your beliefs. If that's what you believe. It's what you believe.
Have you heard stories of like? Okay, so I believe.
Have you ever had a dream?
Yeah. And
Have you ever had a dream?
You lived it already.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's well, we call it deja vu, but I've seen things where I'm like, man, I've been here before. I've seen this before.
No.
And I never
not
really
only
have.
that is when you cross paths or you handle something that is real familiar to the fact of a mirror or a brush. Anything like that, like if you had
Before?
Yes.
I saw this story where this little kid was in the shopping cart of his mom, and they're walking through a supermarket, and the little kid was probably like 5. He could already talk or whatever, right? And he goes, "Mom, hold on, these are my friends." And then the mom was like, "What the fuck? What friends?" And there was 2 old ladies, and the little boy started chopping it up with the old ladies, and they knew each other, and they were exchanging like personal information that nobody would know. And the old lady said, "Hey, that's my friend. He died like a year ago." Whoa,
but have you noticed?
Blah, blah,
have you
blah.
noticed like what you're saying right now? And I agree with it because I watch a lot of YouTube since I've been out now, and AI is a motherfucker. Hey, Skynet, if anybody watches fucking Terminator, hey, AI.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's
this
right.
Motherfucker, hey,
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm telling you guys,
That's right.
like, you guys really fucking trip on it.
Well,
You know,
well,
I don't watch
well,
much TV.
well,
When
you
I'm
know
locked
what,
up,
though?
I watch TV. But when
You know-
I'm not locked up,
but
I'm
you
on
know-
calle. Hey, look at it. Think about it. AI is replacing everything. It's making the rich human, right, lazier. Because the rich human, he's like, man, I got everything I need. I need a robot to fucking go get my beer. I need my robot to fucking put on my TV and this and that. And think about it. That's exactly what they're doing. They're taking over fucking all the fucking acting jobs. They just protested a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. They remember how they were saying, oh, they're making up our movies. They're making up our movies. And the singers were saying they're just making up our songs now. You know, they're fucking music checking, or what do you call it? Where
fake music.
fine tunes it. It's true.
But you know what,
It's
though,
true.
fool? They put in movies. In movies, they put everything that's already gonna happen, already happened, for you to see it but not believe it.
No.
How can that be true if that's a movie?
What you
But
said
it's
right
really
now,
true.
I want to agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I want to disagree because if you think about it, it's ahead of time because it's already.
Skynet. They gave it to you raw in the movie, but you're not gonna believe it because it's
the
a
reason why they're
movie.
giving it to you is because those are fucking shit that has leaked from the army or something like that we already had. So it comes out in a movie. Right,
Yeah.
but we don't hear about it until later in that time. We're like, oh, we look back on the past, like I'm saying right now about Terminator 2, Terminator 1.
So they have already had this.
They've already
info.
had this shit.
The military.
They've already had it.
Somebody.
So when it comes to this point in time,
We're
already
barely
fucking-
getting it.
It's just like a fucking disease or a fucking or a cold, a germ, how it multiplies and it fucking.
Well, it's like the internet. They said they've had it since the 60s, and they've also had cell phones since like the 70s.
But they
we're
have-
just barely getting them now.
All right, look, all right. Since you say that, look at since we're going to that kind of shit,
Playboy,
right.
Trap Boy, take notes.
he looks a little tired, Holmes. He's like,
No, it's because he's trying to teach him how to podcast, but
Look.
he has to be more
right.
livid.
You know how they say, all right, fucking, because basically we've been raping the earth for fucking crude oil.
Yeah.
Crude oil, we get a lot of stuff from. We get gasoline, we get fucking propane, we get everything with it because they boil it down, they break it down or whatever right there. Crude oil is everything that's dead, that's soaked into the ground, that fucking goes down and from the pressure and shit, it turns into what it is, right? But also when we pump that out, it leaves that gas, and that's what they frack now for. You know that when they frack out there, man, they're having earthquakes back east where they didn't have earthquakes before.
Oh, sure.
But they don't put all this on there, you know what I mean? And they have a lot of fucking protests going on there, with Indian tribes and stuff like that. But even the local people are like, hey, we want you guys, we signed these contracts and this and that for you guys to come out here and frack and blah, 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 you know, this and that. But now we're having fucking earthquakes, and we don't have earthquakes. We might have fucking tornadoes, but we don't have earthquakes, and now I'm telling you, we're going to be our own demise. People are. And that's why I say that we keep jumping from fucking planet to planet. Because think about it, every planet behind us, Mars, Venus, has been
They're done.
raped. I mean, every one of them has their own fucking problems. Why? One, I think Venus is nothing but poison gases.
Yeah, it is.
And then Mars is just seco. It's just dry.
And they said
Mars is just seco. It's
and
just
they
really
said
dry.
they used to be. They found reminiscence of
Every
water.
one of these planets, they have found somewhat of remnants of water or land or even monuments like shit like that. Way coincidental. That looks like a building. That looks like a building. That looks like a pyramid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah.
That looks like where a river rolled through. Come on, man. There's no way in fucking hell that the winds, you know. The winds will shift a lot of stuff, but it's not gonna bury nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, for
even
sure.
on the planet, look at planet Earth right now.
But then also what
there's
happens...
certain parts of America, North America, South America, everything, where they could dig down, and they got these levels of different grains of soil, all right, where they could see where once upon a time
there was
something did. You know, they say that all the dinosaurs fucking a comet hit and it fucking burned and it fucking took them all out. Well, there's actually proof to that because there's this fucking thick layer of fucking this black soot where everything burned.
Yeah.
And it's all. Do you know California, the middle of California, right? Central California, all that, where it's all so good to fucking farm right now and everything like that. But they also fucking have put so many chemicals in there. That's why we get the fucking the. If anybody's been to prison or anything like that, you guys know about fucking when you go up there, you might get fucking the valley fever and shit like that. Well, that's brought on by a spore, a fucking little spore from all the chemicals we put in the ground, and we till the ground and we replant and all that, and it only hits minorities like Mexicans, blacks, and shit like that. It's real funny about that, right? But you only hear about it when you go to prison. Unless you live up there in Central America, you live in Central Valley, you'll hear about it. You know what I mean? But like all the farmers, they'll get it too, and it's a fucking cough that will kill your fucking family. So you guys should look into that shit. You guys should fucking, the government should fucking pay for that too.
Do you think that the Earth is flat or round?
Oh, it's round. You know what I mean? But what about all the?
There's fools that be saying it's flat.
No, the ones that say it's flat, they're stuck in fucking the medieval times, fucking there. No, you know what I mean? Like we know, if you go to the fucking end of it, you're gonna fall off the end of the earth.
Yeah,
that's bullshit. We already proved that wrong.
Yeah,
because you can start right now, and you can fucking keep on trucking like a crow does, and
you're gonna fly.
As long as you can swim and fucking walk, you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You get too deep in this shit, you know what I mean? I just believe in now is now and then is then.
Yeah, it's
life is what you make it. So if you got family out there, make it as best as you can for them. You know what I mean?
All right, look. We're gonna bring this to an end. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Salute to the squad. All right. The homie pulled up, and I thought we'd bring him up. Hey, real quick, you went to the YB concert?
No, it wasn't YB. YB was there, but it wasn't YB concert. It was damn, I gotta ask my wife in there.
It was in Adelanto, right?
It was in Adelanto. It was
Kush Fest or Kush something?
No, well, it's a new trial right now. They had a gang of morenos out there. It was brown and black, and they want to see how everything's gonna come together and stuff. And it came together good. It actually flowed pretty good. Everybody out there was vibing. They had brothers out there fucking rapping. They had the homies out there rapping. I mean,
did you chop it up with YB or not?
No, I called Cisco. For Cisco to put me, patch me through and stuff. He's like, hey, I text him this and that. But I seen him on stage. But like, I don't know, I'm not one of the ones that, you know what I mean. But if he would have, it'd have been good because you know what I mean. Yeah. But even though he didn't, I feel that the whole thing that they were trying to fucking blend out there. Was very good. It was very good because you had everybody out there. You know, I seen a couple of fucking little incidences that people had words or whatever, but you know what? It was amongst ourselves. It was amongst brown and brown and black and black. You know what I mean? But it was real. Camado, it was already put. They already put extinguished. You know, they killed it real fast. It wasn't something that was ongoing. Like I'm gonna catch you in the fucking driveway or fucking in the parking lot. You know what I mean? It was nothing like that. It was something that was extinguished real fast. I enjoyed my time. It was my wife's birthday, so you know what I mean. Fucking, Shout out to my wife. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, happy
She's
birthday.
getting old, but I love her anyways.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
But it was something good. It's something. Snoop Dogg was out there.
Oh, he was?
Yes, there was other rappers out there that are from the cripos that were out there. There's some sangres out there that were out there. A lot of homies that were out there. Everybody was vibing. It was a small number of people this time.
We get backstage access. We should have just called me.
I'm telling you, no. It's just something that they even got on stage and they had announced that it's something that they want to keep going every year, and I think they can keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how they have the control of that little fest out there in the desert, fucking over there in Riverside or County or Indio. What do you call it?
Oh yeah, Coachella.
Yes. Well, they were talking. You know what I mean? This is something they want to do for Raza and for the brothers and stuff like that. We can come together and we can, you know what I mean? Have a little melting pot. You know what I mean? This is something that we can excel together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's money to be made everywhere. And if we could help each other, you know what I mean? Because if we let America fucking divvy us up and this and that, they'll keep us all against each other. You know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
For sure. And that's what they want, because America is communist. You know what I mean? The government is communist. Because it's the only place I know that you could buy a piece of land and you still got to pay for it the rest of your life.
It's not yours.
You go to Mexico, you don't have to do that. You go to Russia, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You go to fucking, I don't know, fucking Belize, fucking Guam.
Tax
You don't have to do none of that shit. You know what I mean? So we are communists. And for us to feed ourselves, you know, we just feed ourselves lives. You know what I mean? But shout out to all of our soldiers out there that do fight for our land. You know what I mean? I do commend them all. You know what I mean? If I had a chance, I would have fought in that war anytime.
All right, look, we're going to bring this to an end. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Salute to the squad. Salute to Trap Boy. Trap Boy will be on the next podcast. Salute to my homie Güero right here. And with that being said, if you guys want to see an interview with me and Güero, let me know. Put in the chat right there, interview, or type in blue dots. If you want to see a real life interview, drop blue dots. If you don't want to see an interview, drop the doo-doo stain.
Ooh,
right.
the little stink shit bomb.
The little stink bomb, the little emojis. I'm going to wait a few minutes, run it up, and then I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Don't forget the life story of Silencio 1313 drops on Wednesday, and I will drop clips tomorrow. All right. Hey, Trap, do me a solid. Go over there and hit the Trap.
He's dozing. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
Long day.
Go over there and hit the one that says blocker. Please. Thank you.
Grab a cigarette. I can smoke in here, right?
Yeah.
Grab a cigarette from my primo. This is gas.
Take the mic off. Oh, no, Trap, come over here and say take the blocker off. Hold on, everybody. I'm going to wait for Trap to come back in here. There you go. Take it off. All right, I'm going to have Trap come in here. Oh, I see nothing but blue dots in the chat. Grab the mic real quick. Say what's up to the gente. Give them your out. Give them 5 minutes of your time, bro.
What's up? I'm just chilling. I was in the back right now, just kicking it.
Give them 5 minutes of your time.
Fucking tired as hell too. Shit, I had a long ass day today, bro. You know?
Right there, the little shotgun. Motherfucker like me is hungry as hell already.
I had a long ass day today. Ando cansado, güey.
Look, stop. There's like a little, right there your thumbs at. Go forward. Yeah, there you go.
Bootleg man say what's up. Hey yo, what's up? Sub me out to everybody.
I think they want to see Güero back.
You guys are trying to see Güero back? He's right here, look.
If not, it's good. You know, I don't need no friends. But if so, hey, saludos.
This is your time to shine.
I'm chilling, dog. Ando cansado, güey, la neta.
I can see
I
you
had a
like a
fucking
zombie over
long
there,
ass day, bro. Fuck, I slept.
right now.
I know, right? I slept late yesterday too, como a las 3, 4 de la mañana.
Trap Boy. Here,
That's what they think.
I was going to know.
Hell no. I'm never gonna die. Whoever thinks or doubts, never. Never. I'm still out here chilling. I'm still doing my thing. Follow me on Instagram. Whoever wants to follow me on Instagram, TrapBoyX6. I'm on the YouTube. I'm on TikTok as well. So let me know. I'm just a little dead today because I had a long ass day. You know? Normal thing.
Your protege?
Nah, that's Playboy's friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know him for a while.
Shit. How long you know a fucking dreamer right here?
Probably for more than 10 years, I think.
No way.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
getting old, ain't he?
Yeah.
He's getting fat and old, bro. He's a good camarada right there.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
cool.
last of a dying breed right there, homie.
Right?
A lot of us are. You guys got
Yeah,
ashtray?
he's the one that opened the doors for me here and
Hey,
everything.
Blue Devil, you got an ashtray?
Yeah, I know him for a while. He's opened the doors for me for anything, and
Shit, him, YB, fucking, shit, the homies from the southeast, all of them, Capone,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
they're the ones that started all this for us. I remember when I was younger, I was in and out of the joint, in and out of YA and stuff, and they were the ones getting the shit kicked off for us. And if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't be what they are now, you know?
I was in jail when that shit when this came up.
I was raised in jail, so you know what I mean. I watched all them. You know, I'd be out, we'd go to concerts, this and that, have our little wars and whatever. But look, all of us that wished to war when we were kids,
Yeah.
we're all together now, and that's what gives us the foundation for all you guys. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for them, then you know what I mean. We didn't have the opportunity as when the brothers were coming up, like fucking all that shit, fucking, you know what I mean, NWA and all that shit, like, and we were behind them, you know, because our whole different stilo was different, because our culture's different, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were behind, and the fact of maybe it was our pride that held us back, or we just I don't know what it was. It's just, but now it's way different. You know what I
It's
mean?
different now, yeah, a lot of things have
Now we
changed.
got to jump on shit. You know what I mean?
Right? Everybody eats for sure.
No, for sure, and you know, and they acknowledge that too, because you know everybody's strong in their own fucking aspects. Everybody's strong in their own little.
The blacks are mad at me right now
Okay.
because I had a black Southsider up here from Playboys. He's black, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a Southsider, right? And he was talking about how he feels that the actual black rappers, like the big name ones,
Yeah.
they let us in, but up to where they want to let us into. They don't they'll put a limit on our success.
I agree.
Hold
with
on.
that.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, okay.
I don't want to talk about it. But I just want to tell you. So they feel like that's not true. You know.
If I may, I don't know if I, you know, what I mean, but if I'm crossing my boundaries, so be it. But that's me. I always cross my boundaries. I got to test my waters. But that is true to a certain extent, because some of them are like that. They want to hold us back. They don't want us to exceed past them.
And
But
that's
what race does? Want to be?
Yeah. That's the
lesser,
word though.
you know
That's
what
the
I mean?
word that was missing. Some of them. That's where I worded wrong, because not all of them are like that, dog. And I
Look.
know there's not a lot of them are not like
Look,
that,
look.
but there's a few that is.
I paroled about 6 months ago, okay, from Solano, GP, all right, and the shit that went down with fucking Whack 100. with
Oh, no,
you.
I don't wanna talk about
No, but it has to be talked about, because even his own people backed you up on some, you know what I mean? So it was divided. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where I'm saying where you understand my concept and what I'm putting out there is that.
A bunch of blacks backed me
Right,
up.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that want to see us as equal, because we are the minority.
Yeah.
Them and us.
Yeah.
Because if anything, you know what I mean, I know I look white and everything like that, but believe it or not, there's people that don't look white that have the same concept as them about holding us back. Because without us, even Trump tricked us. That's why we voted for him again. And look what he's doing now to us.
Yeah.
I don't know if Trump, excuse me, you know what I mean? But I don't know if he's your pool guy or the guy that cuts your fucking grass or whatever, that fucks your old lady or whatever, but that's why he hates us so much now. He's trying to build a wall even deeper than what it is. You can't keep us out. He can't keep us out. But look what he did for his fucking family. Look what he did for his in-laws. They were immigrants, and he made them nationals because they were his in-laws.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what about, come on, bro. Mexicans were here before us. You guys too. You know what I mean? They were here before our ancestors were. They were here. They were mingling with the Indians or whatever not. You know what I mean? But we give ourselves these categories to push in: black, white, Mexican, fucking. You know what I mean? Chicanos, raza, paisas. You know what I mean? We're the ones that do that to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you think about it, it don't matter who was here first or not. We're all human, and we all have that human nature in us. We adapt, we evolve together. Every race, every country, every state, every community, every city, everything. We commute to what we can, and what divides us is right and wrong, okay.
And the laws.
and the laws. The laws are what's dividing us, okay? Because we can govern our own. If there's a fucking molester, if there's a fucking chomo on our block, the whole block will run them out of there.
Yeah, facts.
If we know about it. And then now that we know about it, now we can't run them out of there because there's a law against us running them out of there.
Yeah, facts.
Come on, dog. So the whole block, there's 2 chomos right there because fucking we didn't know about it, but now we know about it because you guys put it out there, but we can't do nothing about it. That's a catch-22. That's like, go ahead and get him out of there, but then you're
going to pen.
Now me and you are doing life because this motherfucker was hanging out at fucking school that's at the end of the block that he lives on. You know what I mean? They give him a 5-block radius or whatever the fuck. You know, everything. That's what fucking human nature does. All right, but if you let Mother Nature take its course, all right. I commend and a lot of gratitude out there for all the common medicines, the common knowledge of medicine and that. But if Mother Nature was to take its course, we wouldn't have handicap, we wouldn't have the weak or the sick or nothing like that, because that's what Mother Nature does, and that's how it provides and it accumulates and it fucking dominates and it fucking what do you call it when it metamorphoses into something bigger and better, just like a germ does. Yeah, like COVID. What happened with that? I mean, now COVID's still around. Everybody knows that, right? Well, now it's metamorphosing into something
Bigger, huh? 2.0.
Now you need a bigger shot. Now, I ain't never got one shot at all.
Me either.
I don't even get a
How about
fucking
you?
flu shot.
You got one?
You know what I mean? Only shot that I ever give myself is myself. I give myself my shot. You know what I mean?
You didn't get one in prison?
No, I never got one in jail. Never.
Nothing.
I never
No,
got it.
hey, because anything that you put in your body that gets you sick, because our body is gangster. Our body fights off any kind of sickness, germ, anything. You get the flu every year. The flu comes back bigger and badder, right? But our bodies is bigger and badder, so we beat that off. But then you got all these foreign the things that you introduce yourself.
Yeah.
You do. They're over here fucking going like this with fucking test tubes and shit. That right there conquers this. And everything's a war, dog.
Yeah.
Everything is. But if you just relax, your body can overcome anything, dog. It really does. And it's all right here. It's right here and right here. Because if you, like when he just said, if you feel like you're sick and you're dying, you're sick and you're dying.
Yeah.
You're sick and you're dying. Man, I thought my grandma was going to outlive me, dog.
That's crazy, fool, because sometimes I'll leave the pad and I'll forget my sack. And I won't, as long as I don't know that I left it, I'm cool, dog. Yeah. Right? But then once I forget that I left it, I panic.
No.
Oh, fuck, I better go back to the pad and blah, blah, blah.
That's when you start feeling that
anxiety, fool.
You're like fucking, oh, my body's aching.
Fool, yeah, dog. Yeah, but once I know I have it in my backpack, shit, I'm straight. I'm just... Yeah, fool, that's up here, homie. That's up here, dog.
To go with that and to run with that, what you're saying right now is that I've been clean off of heroin for a year now, just about a year now. And that everybody says, you know, they like me being off of heroin and everything like that, but they're like, damn, what you're so much grouchier. You're like an old man now. And that's due to the fact because I was self-medicating, and that's what made me that cool guy, that relaxed guy. You know what I mean? That guy that, and yeah, I am a little bit more snappier and this and that, and I realize that too. But I every now and then I'll make this stupid comment like, man, you know what? If I start using it, and then all you guys will like me again, this and that. But then they won't, because I remember that guy that used to be all slumped, and then it pop up fucking.
But drugs nowadays, fool, they're different now. That's fentanyl. They're all.
No, I'm anti fucking fentanyl, fucking M30s, all that shit. Everything's been cut with everything and repressed.
Nasty.
Right? I have a little nephew out there, you know what I mean? You know that I love very much. That he's just a. Excuse me for saying. I hope you don't. You know what I mean? If he does see this, he's a truck fool. He's out there fucking like really acting out now, and I've gone the distance for him and everything. You know what I mean? And try to show him. And he's embarrassed me over and over. I still love him. I don't love him no less or nothing like that. And I'll still do what I do for him. But all these are all man-made, fucking self-made and self-endured and self-injected, or however they do it. You know what I mean? These are things that the government is trying to control us with.
Yeah.
Because these are all from LSD, from Vietnam and everything. All right. These are all self-induced and these are trials and tribulations on governments that introduced these to our countries. Okay, heroin, fucking LSD, acid, fucking mushroom, all that shit. The only thing that we can bounce back for, and as long as we don't go on like something that Mother Nature has provided for us. Yes, God. Mushrooms, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, and you think about it.
Beer? Beer is not
No.
natural food.
Beer right there. Like for my people, like for Indians out there, we all know it as firewater. And I mean, every country, I mean, every state, excuse me, every state that a redskin is in. I know you guys hate to be called that or whatever, but these are all poisons that were introduced to us. Okay. Down to fucking scarlet fever, to the measles, all that, it was introduced to us because, you know the horses, the Mustangs and shit that we got running around in these deserts and shit, were all introduced to this country. We didn't have shit over here but fucking buffalo, bison, and fucking deer and fucking shit like that. Like you know what I mean? Like rats, cockroaches, all that shit was self-introduced. You know all those fucking pine trees that you see in fucking people's yards that are dying? That's the Japanese fucking burn beetle that's fucking introduced to us. That all this shit that because we mass produce, United States period. It is a big consumption of everything but us. Everything that we get in America comes from outside this fucking America.
Damn.
It's introduced to us.
Yeah.
They came on a bus. It came on a fucking train. It came on a fucking on a diesel trailer. It came on a fucking ship over here. All these containers that are shipped over here, they consume and they carry some kind of virus, meaning virus, a germ, a rodent, anything like that. And it's true. You know, the bee population is diminishing bigger and bigger and bigger, smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, to where people don't really realize on how much bees, butterflies, moths, other insects fucking reproduce for us. Our fruits, our vegetables, all that kind of stuff. Because if it wasn't for those little ass insects that go and look at this, a flower. They go in here and they fucking dig out all the pollen because they're getting the nectar, all right, the sweetness out of there. And they just all kinds of insects that do this, even down to the ants. Okay, right?
Yeah, they all got their job in Mother Nature,
Yes.
fool.
Yes.
I was watching this shit where I was watching the beetles eat the shit from like other animals,
Yeah.
and then they reproduce that into some other crazy shit. So everything has its own, like they have their reason to be here on this
Yeah.
planet, dog.
But
you know,
there's also there's species meaning mammals, reptiles, insects, everything that we are still discovering to this day that we've never discovered before, that have been here from the jump. When you go down to South America, it's so thick down there and stuff. All right, so down in South America, they have this fucking never-ending fucking wildfire that's burning that we started it because we're burning the fucking down at the jungle. We're burning it because plantation and stuff. We're growing lumber that we fucking build houses with. They mass produce this stuff. So when they go through and they're fucking mowing down all these trees and shit, they're cutting them down.
They're
and
finding
fucking,
shit?
right? And then to make houses for us. You know what I mean? All over the world, right? Right. But at the same time they're cutting something down, they're supposed to be planting something else, right? But when they're cutting down, they're not fucking discovering nothing because they're not looking for nothing no more.
Yeah.
Because they're so stuck in their state. You know, you go over there to fucking fucking the indigenous place, like fucking down there fucking what are they called? Yeah, like shit like that. All that shit's been here before us. Like India, like the righteous India, you know, because that's why they started calling Indians because they're red-skinned, you know what I mean? And they thought that they were from India, but they're from America. Well, you know what I mean? A lot of people they don't know our history. Our history is dark. Our history is so dark, just like our Bible is. Our Bible, and here's, I mean, I don't know. I did a lot of shoot time, so fucking.
I read the Bible.
Yeah, but to read the Bible, I can read the Bible. Yeah. When I first read it, I can read right now. And at first I didn't know. I read, fairly now, but before I was poor. But I can read something and not comprehend it. You know what I mean? But you could read something over and over, and then you start catching on to other things. But I believe the Bible is just something that's been taken from and added to. All right, it's because
copyrighted.
Well, yeah, it's what they want us to believe and what they want us to know. Oh, because you think about it.
Yeah, because
Christians, Catholics. Like I'm Catholic. Okay, I'm Catholic, and then that's one of the religions where you can repent and everything's good again. Okay, if you repent it and you do it, under the eyes of God, and you have that faith that you believe, and you know what I mean. So all right, and then think about every great war, because every great empire has had some kind of faith. Because when you go to war, you want to have some kind of belief, right? That you're going to make it home to your family, that you're going to make it home to your fucking loved ones. So you got to have a belief, like, God's going to get me through this, God's going to get me through it. Think about how many fucking shields and swords that had the cross on it.
Yeah, a lot.
All right, they had the cross on it, and then look at from Muslims, and look at, you guys can call me a fucking bald-faced lie, but it's true. And Muslims, if you read the Quran or if you read anything like it, all right, the difference is that they believe like Jesus and all that. They were apostles. They were, like, you know what I mean? Like right. How we see him as God's son. They see him as an apostle. Like he would just come down to you know what I mean? Yeah. But I respect their religion and everything like that, because they have the faith and they're standing on the same grounds as we are. You know what I mean? It was just something to push them through. Now the Quran, you know, the Quran is older than being a Christian.
Damn.
Yeah, it comes out before that, because back then, that's when everybody was speaking the same tongue before they started speaking different tongues. When they started speaking different tongues, that's when they came out with Catholics. Okay? And then that's when they all started, right, because that's when everybody used to live 100 and something years old, you know what I mean? They used to live forever back then, but then they try to make that fucking, you ever heard about the kingdom when they try to make a fucking a ladder to heaven?
I heard that.
Right? And then they crumbled it down.
Is that true?
Yeah, well, I mean, from what
My
the Bible
grandpa
says,
told me that.
from what the Bible says.
Who was it though that did that?
It was all of our people. They
grandpa
wanted to
told
get closer
me
to God.
that they
wanted,
struck it
you know what I
down.
mean? And God said no. That's why he struck it down, because they want, basically, that's how the devil became the devil. Satan became Satan, because he was right-hand man of God, right? And he wanted to be God's equal.
Yeah.
No, he wanted to be like him. So
He wanted to be God's equal. He wanted to be God's equal, and he wanted to rule his own kingdom. So God said, all right, fucking, so that's when he cast him down upon us, and that's why he's down here. And the only thing it is you think about it, it's just like, hey, God, you think he believes in you more than me? Let's go ahead and, like he did fucking Joseph. Huh? All right, when he took his fucking wife, he took his kids, he took his crops, he took his fucking his livestock, he took everything, gave him swords, gave him all kinds of shit, and said, let's see, God, let's see if he's gonna keep his faith in you, and he's gonna keep praying to you, and he's gonna keep giving, you know what I mean, giving you all his faith, giving you all his prayer and everything like that. And if he does, then you can grant him everything back again. Well, why the fuck would you do that to somebody, Holmes? Why the fuck would you put that to somebody?
Yeah.
Just to see if he fucking bows down and praises you more than he does the next man? Fuck that. That's why I say God is just another man like us. He's just a higher being, and we're just the offspring of him. It's like something like, I mean, all right. They have this thing, I forgot the, look at it, there's this thing over there in the Florida Keys, over there in the Bahamas. It's this fucking rock, right? But it's not a rock, it's really a sponge. And what it does, it takes in the fucking carbon dioxide that's in the water, the seawater, right? And turns it into air, and it puts it up. You can Google this shit too. And that's why they're saying that's one of the oldest fucking known fucking organisms on planet Earth, is what gave Earth its oxygen. Oh, shit. Because it takes in all this, just like a tree, just like all these trees. Anything green out there you see out there, it takes in all the bad shit. The shit comes out of your car. The shit that you exhale, it takes in and turns it into oxygen. If it wasn't for oxygen, none of us would live. Your dog, your daughter, your son, none of that shit would live. You know what I mean? Oh, boy. All that shit you exhale, that shit the shit he's exhaling is something different. Because you see how cigarettes been around for what? Since the 1800s, 1700s. Tobacco was around before even fucking black powder
that's
was.
natural, isn't it?
No, it is natural. It is natural.
It's off a tree, right?
No, it's off of a plant. It's
a
off
bush?
A plant.
Tobacco?
It's like cotton.
Yeah, so it's natural then.
Tobacco leaves, right? But it was around before fucking the Chinos made up fucking gunpowder. Okay, and then they came up with the concept of salt and this, and it becomes gunpowder, and boom, all right? But just like hookering, they've been selling pussy since pussy's been pussy, you know what I mean? Hey, that's real shit. Think about it. You think about it, you can go to the edge of time. Before Christ, they were selling pussy.
That fool loves buying pussy.
Hey, but look, think about this. Now, my dad and my dad and my uncles were a big part of my neighborhood's fucking, they taught us, shout out to Uncle Pete and my dad and all them, you know what I mean? They taught us a lot of good stuff that survived us. And there ain't not one piece of pussy you don't pay for. Even if it's your baby's mama, your wife, or anything like that. You think about it.
That's a fact, but how much you want to pay?
Exactly.
That's a fact.
You put a roof over her head, right? But now you might get lucky and you might get a piece of pussy that shares that fucking responsibility where she goes to work too and she puts over your house to do it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But you're still paying for it.
Yeah.
Because when you come home at nighttime, it depends on how good you make her feel that you're gonna get a piece of ass or not.
Yup.
You know what I mean? So you're paying for pussy. And same concept for women too. I guess they have to pay for dick too, if you think about it. And that's for the righteous ones that go out there and hustle. Because how many women that, you know, but men, they pacify them too. It's like, I just want you to stay at home because the jealousy, the rage that they get if they think you're a woman thinking. But if you, how many men you know say, I just want you to stay at home, take care of the kids, this and that, and then, you know what I mean?
Stay at home dads.
Right.
There's a
But
few.
then you got the righteous women like, man, I'm not gonna stay at home. I'm gonna give me a job too. Kids get at a certain age, you know what I mean?
It could be wrong. There might be women too that are toxic that they just expect everything from a man. So
True, but that's the way that they're raised. They're raised by a mom that didn't have a father or whatever, and she got through life and raised their daughters that way by using men or portraying themselves as you're the man, you're the provider, this and that. But then again, like me, I've always liked that responsibility. I've even, you know, in my younger life that I took back bitches that I knew that cheated on me, but I wanted that responsibility to have them, you know what I mean, to where I took care of them or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the feeling of being a man.
Exactly. That grounds to say, fucking, man, what do you mean? I take care of my shit. You know what I mean? So.
All right. I think that's enough internet for one night. It's 2:30 in the morning. We started.
I know, I still got a gang of shit that I need to complete tonight. A couple more drops, everything.
We went live at 12. So look, salute to everybody. I appreciate everybody. Trap Boy, say goodbye to everybody. Appreciate everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Say what's up here. Say bye to your friends.
All right, peace out, everybody. You guys have a good night. Catch you all on the next one.
Say goodbye, Whittle.
Hey, buenas noches to everybody out there that's listening. If I made sense to you, I appreciate your gratitude. If I didn't, hey, que sarra. Hey, you guys go ahead and hit the homie up, Blue Devil. You know what I mean? If you have any questions for me, shit, I'm a real one. You guys, you know what I mean? Everybody pretty much knows about me. If not, you can find me, whatever. You know what I mean?
Let's go. We out.